Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Krista? Good long time no see.
Yes, and I know you still can't see me. I'm fixing that shortly.
Okay. Yep, no problem.
I actually invited a couple of people. I noticed that you made the event public, so I hope you said that was okay. So I invited some people. I don't know if they're going to be here, but we'll find out.
Well, I appreciate you sharing. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
Yeah, I did, because I figured, it sounded like a good guest speaker, and it sounded like you were opening it up to the wider community.
We are glad. How's everything going with you?
I was just getting some work done early this morning. So I'm sorry I sound so crappy. I'm coming out of the laptop speaker and the laptop microphone. I'll fix it shortly. But
yeah, you're fine. No worries.
I was more focused on my work than I was on... let me launch this thing, and that way when people come on, at least they can hear me.
Yeah, no problem. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Judy. Hi, Laura.
Hello.
Good to see everyone.
Thank you.
Krista's getting her laptop organized, so she'll be here in just a minute.
Hi, Margaret.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Jill, hi.
Good morning.
Laura in the car?
No, I'm not. I'll be there in a minute, though.
Early morning.
A couple minutes.
How did the college trip go?
You know, it went really, really well. It's her first choice, and she's very excited. And yeah, so hopefully she'll be filling out her applications. So
Cool.
I just can't believe we're at that stage right now.
Yeah, I know.
It comes faster than you think, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, like lightning. It's crazy.
Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning.
What's a delay? Hi, Kristen.
No, I have. I'm searching for a document to send.
Can you see me
Ignore
okay?
you.
Yeah, we can see you. Perfect. You got that figured out, exactly what angle you need to be at. I don't know how
I'm starting to.
Yep, you must have a feel to it, huh?
Yeah, I kind of have like one of those, mats nearby. So I have actually two of them. So I kind of like put the laptop in between that, and I kind of like line it up with the top of where the lamp is. And...
Gotcha. Those of you who haven't met Krista yet, she has a vision impairment, and so she always asks, "Am I fully on the screen?" Because she can't see, doesn't have to know herself. So we always help her out.
Good.
So I saw someone coming. Oh, hi, Connie Jo. Good morning. Good morning. And Ha's here. Good morning. And Mary Beth texted in and said she will not be here today. She's feeling under the weather.
Oh.
Send good thoughts to Mary Beth.
Bummer.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, especially with beautiful summer weather.
I know.
We don't have beautiful summer weather here. We have just another day of torrential rain.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, seriously, this is ridiculous.
You're sounding like Florida. We've had nothing but rain, right, Floridians?
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Awesome.
It's part of our summer.
It is. It's
summer experience, and your summer fashion accessory is your cute umbrella.
Your umbrella.
That you go everywhere with.
Got one in the car, one in the house.
One in your purse.
Though it beats a hurricane, so we'll take it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks for that. So we'll go ahead and get started. If everybody else joins us, we'll welcome them in. We just want to keep us on time. So good morning and happy Friday. The first Friday of August. What? How did that happen? I don't
know.
Oh, so here we go. Back to school coming soon, and end of summer. So enjoy what summer weather you have. We have Margaret as our guest speaker today, so we'll get to her in just a minute. But first, we're going to do our elevator speeches. So 30 seconds-ish, introduce ourselves, and I'll kick it off. How about that for a change? I'm Jill Celeste. I'm the chapter president for this chapter, Virtual Networkers, and I'm also a marketing coach, founder of the Celestial Circle, where I gather purpose-driven entrepreneurs to learn how to market their businesses while having lots of fun and working on our mindset and just being very visible in the marketplace. And I'm super glad to see everybody here. Good to see Krista again. And Margaret, do you mind kicking us off on the other side?
Okay.
I'm going other side, meaning my Zoom. Not that you could see that, but that's what that meant.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll know a little bit more about me later, but I'm Margaret Martin. I am a speaker and author, a coach, and a couple of areas in which I coach are life design, and I love helping people get in, dig in, and change that mindset so they can transform their lives. And that also happens in career coaching as well. So I work with a lot of people who have been laid off and so help them with that. I love to do speaking engagements and provide training programs. So thank you.
We are glad you're here.
Oh, and I'm here in Dunedin, by the way.
Dunedin, Florida. That's right, yeah. And just a reminder, if you could open the chat box, everyone, and type your first and last name in there and your email address. Some of you have already got that started, so thank you. Judy Kane, you're next.
Good morning. I'm Judy Kane, and my business is called Align Consciousness. And I help people rewrite subconscious self-limiting beliefs using a process called Psych-K. People come to me for 3 general reasons. It's either the big emotions like phobias, trauma, grief, anxiety, or they're trying to hit goals and just don't seem to be able to get there for one reason or another, either self-sabotaging behavior or just working hard and it's not happening, or for physical symptoms of stress.
We are glad you're here, Judy, representing Florida too.
Yes, Tampa area.
Connie Joe, good morning.
Morning. I'm in Atlanta and it's raining here too. It's been raining since Tuesday. And I have a rain gauge, and we have over 5 inches of rain.
Oh my gosh.
Tuesday. It hasn't stopped. It's just rain, 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 rain.
Mm.
I have a business called Enigma Bookkeeping Solutions, and I do bookkeeping and financial coaching. And I make sure that you have audit and tax ready books. I take the work of doing your books off your hands, so you have more time to spend on your own business stuff. And I'd be happy to help anyone here do that. So,
we're glad you're here. One day you gotta bring a whoopee cushion.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
That'd be a fun little meeting.
Yeah.
Yes, you did that.
I also have a fart machine.
Wow.
Where it's got a remote control and you can hide it, and it does all different ones. It's not just one sound.
Oh my gosh. Connie Joe, you are
My grandson would love that.
You're a kid at heart, that's for sure.
Well, my kids know where I keep it, so they get it out every once in a while and surprise me with it.
They have to hide.
It's always good for a laugh.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for you. That's hilarious. Krista, I'm going to unmute you and you can go ahead, okay? Oh, no, I can't unmute you. You'll have to do it yourself. I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Krista Janik, Wise Words That Matter. I work with businesses and nonprofits to help them get noticed. And I tend to work with clients who are overwhelmed with their marketing processes, or they're launching a new product or service. They're excited. They're not quite sure how to connect with their audiences. A lot of the times experts might be really brilliant on stage, perhaps not so brilliant on paper. And they might not be able to, it can be very difficult when you're inside, when you know a lot about a subject, to really relate it to the outsiders, your audience, your readers, your customers.
And where the state are you in, Krista?
I'm from Long Island, New York, but I do virtual work. My copywriting is virtual. My public relations tends to be local just because I have more local media contacts on Long Island. But I also have a webinar that I'm running, and that's called Get Noticed Now. And I'll send that to you in the chat as well if you want to sign up for that,
Awesome.
because That's going to be at the end of August, and then I'm doing another date in September, and that's very interactive, hands-on, practical.
Very cool. Thank you. Yes, feel free to put that in the chat box for us. We're glad you're here. Debbie Keevan. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Connie Jo, I just have to tell you, when you come to Baltimore, finally, we're going to go to the Baltimore Visionary Art Museum because they have in their basement a built-in fart machine, and it echoes everywhere. And you stand on it, it tells you what kind of fart you are.
I can't wait.
Road trip. So on that note, I'm Debbie Keevan of DeborahKeevan.com, and I help visionary entrepreneurs attract their ideal clients by tapping into and sharing their stories of healing and truth to attract their ideal clients. And I'm outside of Baltimore, Maryland. Good morning.
Good morning. We are glad you're here. Hannah.
Hello.
Hello.
I envy everybody the rain. I'm in Sweden, and we have had summer for 3 months, which is actually very unusual for this area. So I am a bit out by the heat. But I'm a graphic designer and a visual brand manager, and I live in Sweden, but I am Norwegian. And I help passion and purpose-driven entrepreneurs and business owners make their businesses look as good as they know they are, so they can attract their ideal clients and take their businesses to the next level.
We are glad you're here. Sorry you're sweating.
I switch any day for a good shower of rain. Please send them my way.
Send some from the U.S. to you. Oh, that's funny. Last but certainly not least, Ms. Laura Shipman.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. How are you? I'm Laura Shipman, the founder of Keep It Local, and I'm here in the Tampa Bay area as well. And I'm excited to announce that Debbie Keevan is going to be a guest blogger for Keep It Local this week. So, and that's open to anybody, and that's one of the benefits of Keep It Local. If you have a blog that you want to share with our membership, that's great. As a member, you can submit that to me, and it can be done really easy. If it's something like what Debbie did, is she just sent me a list of different links to her blogs, and I can select one and feature her throughout the months coming up. And or you could just copy and paste it into an email to me, and I'll put it out on our website. And then it will also go in the email blast that goes every Monday morning to not only our members but non-members as well. So it's just a really great way for you guys to get more exposure through networking. So.
Yes, another benefit of us here, virtual networkers. Thank you so much, Laura. Can't wait to read what Debbie has given you.
She gave me I don't know, a ton of them to choose from, so I'll pick one, and then Debbie doesn't even know which one it's going to be, so it'll be a surprise for all of us. But it's good, so I'm excited to share with everybody. So that's awesome.
Maybe that'll inspire, including me, more people to submit their guest blogs too. So that's awesome. Yay! Well, good. We're so glad to see everybody here, and I'm going to pass the reins to Margaret in just a minute. Margaret, are you going to share slides or just talk today?
Just talk.
Awesome. I love when people just talk. Sometimes it's just easy. But let me do a quick bio here. And sorry, something changed on my screen. It caught my attention. Debbie went to no video. I was like, what was that flash? So let me read Margaret's bio real quick. So Margaret Martin is the author of The Chatter That Matters. Your words are your power, and your chatter matters. And a second book, Your Chatter Matters, The Journal of Gratitude, is dedicated to helping people change your mindset to transform your life. Amen. She works with individuals and organizations to become more efficient, effective, and to achieve personal balance, fulfillment, and a more profitable future. She assists in their development using her proficiency as a coach, life design, career, and transforming trauma, workshop facilitator, professionalism, team building, unity in the workplace, and others. And she's also a keynote speaker for Your Chatter Matters, Transition in the Negative Mind Chatter, Create Better Conversations, and Learn to Set Patterns. So we are so glad you are here, Margaret. You can take the floor.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity to be here this morning. So we'll start out with, you are what you think about, whether you like it or not. I'm going to repeat that. You are what you think about, whether you like it or not. You know, that's the thing about our mindset is it's based on our beliefs, it's based on our attitude. And, you know, each day when we wake up, you know, we have the opportunity to see what's out there for us. And as our mindset is there, we need to have the opportunity to be able to shift it, reset it as we need. So today we're going to talk about 3 simple things that you can do to make that shift. Do the reset, whatever word you want to use, in other words, to change your mindset. These are things you probably already use. Very simple. They can be used in steps or they can be used individually. And so the first one that I would think of when I need to shift my own attitude, my mindset, is attitude. And, you know, each day when we get up, we have, you know, the first thoughts we have tend to set the tone for the day, or can. And everybody has different things going on in their lives. And a few of you will be having, in a few weeks, kids going off to school. So all the things that go on to get them out the door, your family up where they're going, and then get to your work, you know, can create a grumpy attitude perhaps, or an exciting attitude. Yay, they're going out the door. So here again, it depends on where you are. Sometimes, you know, in the mornings I get up and I'm a little stiff and I think, oh, let me see, you know, I don't want that to stiffen my attitude. So what can you do sometimes when you have, perhaps it's an overwhelming project, whatever is going on in your life, each day we have the opportunity to make that choice. So one of the things I use when need to shift my attitude is I use breathing. I'm HeartMath certified stress relief coach. And one of the things we focus on in HeartMath, and you may have heard of it, is just the focused breathing of bringing your attention to your heart. And then take in a deep breath. So I'd encourage you to do that right now. So bring your attention to your heart. Sometimes people have to put their hands on their heart so they can get that focus better. And take in a breath. You can do it with your eyes open, your eyes closed. All right, keeping your focus on your heart, bring it in another breath and try to fill up your entire lungs, using your diaphragm to fill up all of your lungs. And release, and do one more. Okay. You may have noticed a shift. You had all kinds of things going on in your head. You know, a lot of times we have that negative mind chatter going on. When we bring our attention to our heart, take in a deep breath, that gets you out of your head and into your heart. That will get you into a neutral position where you can make a better decision about what kind of attitude you want to have as you go through your day. One of the things I like to use this for, especially, is when I'm stuck in traffic and I need to be somewhere. And so when I'm stuck in traffic, you know, I take the deep breath and I say, I'll get there when I get there. And perhaps change the music on the radio station, enjoy the view, especially if I'm going to Tampa and I'm stuck on the causeway. You know, there's beautiful water on both sides of that causeway. And so being able to almost be in the moment with that can totally shift your mindset. Another thing I use in the attitude is affirmations. And I don't know if many of you use affirmations. And the thing I like about affirmations is the fact that, you know, they're easy to use. They can definitely change your mindset. And when you're having one of those days, you're a little bit grumpy, perhaps just thinking of one would be I am filled with a sense of well-being. Doesn't that feel good? I am filled with a sense of well-being. That should shift your attitude right there very easily. Another would be a couple of them that I use are love, peace, and joy abound in my life. Another one, I'm a healthy, wealthy child of God, or spirit, or universe, whichever word fits for you. One of mine that I created is, I own my power with grace. And I am divinely connected to the universe. These are things that you can, phrases you can use that can definitely shift your attitude and your mindset. And the thing about affirmations, you know, there are a lot of different ones you can use to for personal growth and changing your circumstances and things. The key thing is you got to believe it. You've got to get into the energy of feeling that affirmation. So that's the first step. As I said, any and all of these steps can be used in an order or not. It can be used individually. Second thing I use is perspective. You know, when we have things going on like the rush of the day, or you're working on a project and you're stuck, or you've got to go into a meeting and there may be some challenging people there. I don't know if you've ever had that happen, but I have. And so with that, you know, it's being able to take a step back. And especially in my career coaching, I work with people who have applied for jobs. They don't hear back. Their application, they feel, goes into the black hole of the internet. Or they've had the interview and they haven't heard back within 2 weeks after they've been promised. So what is it they do? What is it I can help them do? It's to take that step back, whether it's a physical step back or a mental step back. One of the things I bring into the perspective for them is we don't know what's going on in that person's life. You know, we all have stuff. Life happens. And so with that, we want to be able to take a step back and say, especially for them, I say, you don't know, they're doing 2 jobs probably. They're doing the job they're hiring you for as well as their own job. Or it's vacation time. They may be on vacation. Forgot to put an out of office in their email. Or whatever's going on is helping them take the step back. For us working on a project and you get stuck, take the physical step back, go out and walk around the block. If it's too hot, skip across the room. I do that from time to time. It gets a little energy going, and when we get the energy going, that often changes that mindset as well. And then come back and look at it with fresh eyes. And as if you're seeing that project for the first time, and see what kind of inspiration comes. When I'm in a situation where I have to deal with difficult people, my friend Lauren McLaughlin, who's a Unity minister, has created some affirmations, and one of my favorites of hers is, I am who I am, and I allow others to be who they are. That is a key. I can tell you that I have used that a lot. Even when we're driving, you know, you can't control the driver over there. You can only control yourself. So if they've got to do what they've got to do, but especially it gives you a different perspective. You know, you can take that step back and say, I don't know. I had a challenging experience personally with a person in an organization. I had the opportunity, and I said to that person, I don't know what's going on or has gone on in your life that's causing you to behave or act in this way, but I really feel badly for you. And if I can be of help, let me know. And that takes them sometimes by surprise because they aren't expecting you to have any compassion or understanding. So that helps us shift our perspective a little bit and shift the mindset of whether they're really going to be that challenging or not. They just may be having difficult things going on. Anybody ever have that happen? Yeah. And another step I use is gratitude. Gratitude's available to us all the time. For over 20 years, I've developed the habit of writing my gratitudes at the end of the day. I still have every one of the journals I've used. So, and someone challenged me to write another book with all the gratitudes that I've found most helpful. 389 gratitudes or something. And I thought, well, I probably have them, but so I don't know if I'll get that book done or not. But in the meantime, I find that if I can express my gratitude for 3 to 5 things about the day for which I'm grateful, especially at the end of the day, it ends my day on a positive note. It tells the universe I want more of these things in my life. And we can pause and think of things easily right now. So I encourage you, write down or think of something one thing that you can be grateful for right now. And another one, think of another thing that you can be grateful for right now. And possibly a third thing. All right, let's have this little interactive piece. So who would like to share one gratitude for which they have right now?
I'll start.
Okay, Krista.
Okay. So I did a gratitude exercise with someone a while back. And the exercise was, not only do you list things that are grateful, it's not so much about the list, it's about expanding on one thing and bringing up good memories and things like that. So I like to use, I'm grateful for the internet. Now that sort of sounds like a dry thing, but when I think about all the good memories of, chat room conversations, and I met one of my closest friends actually on the internet, even though most of my friends are local, but it's kind of fun to think about those memories and think about, how I can just find anything I want, listen to any music I want. It's amazing, and how, if I want to listen to happy music, sad music, angry, whatever, I can just pull it up at the touch of a button. It's amazing.
And we're all grateful for the internet this morning. Excuse me for interrupting. We're all grateful for the internet or we wouldn't be here.
Amen.
Absolutely. So my point is that when I think of it that way, that the emotional content is greater than just going, I'm grateful for food, I'm grateful for the internet, I'm grateful for my friends, I'm grateful,
Exactly. Anyone else? Thank you, Krista. Yes, Debbie.
I wrote that I'm incredibly grateful to be in such an amazing group of women. Like, the power in this chat room is like incredible. And it's such an energizing feeling. So that's what I'm grateful for right now.
Great. Thank you. Someone else?
I wrote that, or I thought, I had the same thing as Debbie, but also my second thought was, I'm grateful that my dog is next to me snoring. And it's something very meditative about her snoring.
Mm-hmm.
It brings me very centered. So I know it sounds silly, but hey, I'm grateful for my dog.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One more. Anybody else?
I got one.
Okay, Connie Jo.
Well, with all this rain, I've been thinking about people that don't have a roof over their head. And I'm grateful that I have a dry, warm place to be in all this rain. And because a lot of people don't have that.
Yes. Exactly. And thank you for sharing that. That's one of the things that comes to mind for me too. In my Leadership Pinellas experience, we had the opportunity to see a lot of different parts of our county. And there is a place that I think it's called Pinellas Hope, where people live in transitional housing. The homeless have gone into a tent city where it is, where they have access to food and things like that, but their living conditions are intense. Florida, it's pretty darn hot in the summer and it's humid. Winters can get pretty cold. And I think about that, having gone there, that's one of the things when it's cold, when it's rainy, I think about that. And I am grateful for a safe and warm or cool, dry house in place, a comfortable bed. I also am usually, you know, when I've had the experience of talking with, updating with a friend, and today and tonight, I will be grateful for the opportunity to share with this group and connect. I'm always grateful for that. And simple things. And you know, when you're at a loss and you can't think of anything, one friend of mine says, there's toilet paper. Yep. Clean running water. There's always something very simple for which we can be grateful. So I welcome you to use any and all of these processes and think about those things for which you can be grateful, how you can shift your perspective, how you can change your attitude. All of those things come together to help us change that mindset, reset the mindset so that you can have a more joyful life. Thank you.
Margaret, that was wonderful. Good reminders. I do the gratitude journal before bed. And my thing is I just fill up the page. So however many items I put on there, it could be 1, it could be 3, it could be 10. It just depends on what comes out of my brain. I give myself 1 page. And I really find that it centers me and it clears my mind of the negative things that I probably really want to, you know, drill in on, but it can't do that. You know, I want to be in gratefulness and gratitude. So I love that practice. I've been doing it I don't have 20 years of journals, maybe a year and a half. And I often wondered what to do with them because I try not to have too much clutter. And so I have them still, but I thought about releasing them somehow, but I haven't figured out the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why too I ended up publishing my own journal of gratitude is I thought I bought so many people's journals and they're beautiful and fun because I always try to pick out something that's really special for writing my gratitudes. So anyway, so that I thought, you know, it's time to do it. So I did it.
Yeah, good for you. Awesome. What mindset questions do we have for Margaret? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Any mindset, what's your biggest mindset challenge? What is something that your mind, your chatter, as we call it, right? Margaret, the chatter in our brain, like what is something that comes up quite often? Anybody?
I got some.
Go ahead, Conjo.
My biggest problem is thinking about all the things I need to do. And I've tried writing them down and I have a schedule, but still my mind is just constantly going through work stuff I need to do and family stuff I need to do and outside stuff I need to do. And so it's just constantly there. Even though I've put it down, it's hard to turn that off and I'm not really sure how to do that.
Okay. So of the 3 things I talked about today, which one might work better?
Well, breathing would help. Yeah. Just take a breath and just, I guess, realize that I've got it written down and I don't need to think about it.
Right. Another thing that popped into my mind when you said that is, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Esther Hicks and Abraham and the placemat process. And I had forgotten about this. And so I've forgotten the last couple of days, but I've started using placemat process. 1 second, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
I have never heard of the placemat process, and I am a follower of Esther. In fact, I'm reading one of her books. That's funny.
Yeah, you can. I got reminded just on some interview I saw her on, and so you can see it on YouTube. So basically, you take your notebook or your piece of paper, and you write down. You put a line down the middle, and I put the date on it. And then 1 column says, things I need to do today. Those are things you absolutely have to get done. So you could actually say it, things I have to get done today instead of need to do. That's probably a better phrase. Need puts us almost like into a guilt situation. Oh, if I don't get it done, I should have. So, and the other column says, things for the universe to handle. And Judy, I see you nodding. So if you want to add something to this. So in Esther's experience, she said she had this overwhelming list. So Abraham or a group of angels that she channels. Abraham said to her, list the things that you must do today. Must. Not all the things you should do, must do. And then in the other column, write the things for the universe to handle. So you then put down, so there are a lot of things that once we try to quit micromanaging the universe, which when we get into that need and I've got to do, you know, if we just put those things over there, somehow or another they shift and get taken care of sometimes. So we get the inspiration for how to accomplish one of the other things. So
I love that phrase. It's sort of like, you know, not worrying about it, not planning it necessarily. It's like, you know, letting the universe handle. And then we start thinking, well, who in the universe can help me handle this?
Yeah, but that's when you have to take that deep breath and let go.
No, but I'm saying that is sort of a way of letting go, because it's saying that this is bigger than me. I have support. I have, you know, how can the universe help me?
Okay. Debbie, you had your hand up too.
Right. I was just going to sort of ask a question about the left side of that list, things I must do today. I wonder, and I don't know how this will change the context, but could we say the things I get to do today, which then puts us in gratitude?
Exactly. You could change that to anything that works for you, but it's just what the key piece, as I understand it, and is that you don't put things on there that you should do necessarily that would be nice if you got done.
Right.
It's, Judy, am I adding that? Is that the way you see it as well and understand it? Okay. Laura, did you have your hand up? Okay.
I got a question.
Okay.
I can't think of anything that I need to do today that the universe is going to help me with.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
I need to, my daughter just moved out of her apartment college, and my garage is full of her stuff, and we need to go through it and sort it. And the universe isn't going to do that. But I can't get my car in the garage and it's raining. And so it's that kind of stuff. But no, the universe isn't going to do that.
Judy, you want to pipe in on that? I see you.
Well, yeah. And the list of the stuff that you must or get to do today are the really the things that have to be done today. So you'd be surprised. I mean, the universe could inspire your daughter to come and do something in a week with the garage. It's not like you're moving out of the house and have to do it today, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So if you can simplify it to the stuff that has to be done today and trust that there are ways to make a lot of these other things happen that you don't have to be controlling. It takes the pressure out of your mind.
But like another way the universe could, you know, maybe you're having a day where all of a sudden something saves you a lot of time. So you get inspired to do the garage, and, you know, not to say that you always put off everything that you know, all the shoulds, but it's just kind of an interesting way to put them all on the universe side. And then you take from the universe side and say, okay, these are the things I'm actually going to do because I think they're going to be helpful.
That's good. Exactly. And one of the things on the universe side are our goals. You know, when you think about it, I had, you know, one of mine is I'm supposedly writing a new book, so I need guidance for that. That's on the universe side. Also, you know, I had on this particular day, I had referrals for speaking, and then boom, I'm here.
I kind of see it like 3 columns. The have to do, the universe, and then you start moving things from the universe side to what I will do.
I don't know if that works for you, I guess. But in the meantime, it's today. Look at today, what must be accomplished today. As Judy said, Connie Jo, obviously the garage today is not going to work because it's raining. And you can't get, I mean, you could go out there and get some things organized about it if that's important. But it's things that must be accomplished today.
Okay. I'll think on that.
Okay. If you need some help, give me a call.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a
Anybody
great
else?
question. Yeah. Who else has a question? What else is another big mindset hang up? Come on, we got abundance, we've got love, we've got clients, getting clients, happiness.
I'll talk again if no one else wants to, but if someone else says something.
Go ahead.
All right. So I have a thing with affirmations. A good one that, like, you know, my thing with affirmations is that I have to buy into them. Otherwise, at best, they make me laugh sarcastically, like, yeah, freaking right, you know, and that sort of gives you, you know, kind of a moment that's kind of funny.
Okay.
But at worst, they just, you know, they cause like a war inside my head.
Exactly.
So,
okay.
Okay, yeah, you get it.
I get it. Yeah. I had, and maybe I can share an example. I had the opportunity a couple of years ago to present a series of programs to PACE Center for Girls. I don't know if you're familiar with that organization, but it's a small school for girls who are in challenging situations. They don't show up for regular school, and, you know, they don't show up consistently. They have all kinds of interesting circumstances going on in their lives. Some may be pregnant, some, you know, you get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Challenged girls. So as I was taking them through this process of change of affirmations, I said to them, you know, what's one of those things you hear in your head? You know, the negative mind chatter. We were transforming the negative mind chatter. And this young girl said, well, I hear all the time, not only in my head, but from my parents, that I'll never amount to anything. Now, that may not be the exact phrase she heard because I didn't make notes and I can't record. But it was something just about like that. I'll never amount to anything. You'll never amount to anything, her parents would say to her.
That's a big one.
Yeah. So I said, how can we transform that? So let's work on something that you can believe. And so we brainstormed, and several people, they all sort of brainstormed together, and she ended up with a phrase somewhat like, I am moving to be successful in my life. I am on a successful path in my life.
Mhm.
And I said, because it's got to be something you can believe. You can you can get energized. You can get that energy. So that was something similar to what she ended up with. So the next week when I was back, I always reviewed what we did before. So I said, what did anyone use their affirmations? And of course, some of them looked at me like I was, I had three heads. What affirmations? The others, this one girl said, yeah, I used them. And I said, well, would you share your experience? And she said, well, I had to go to court and my parents were there with me. And while we were sitting there, they were telling me, you'll never amount to anything. And she said, yes, I will. I am on a successful path in my life.
Good for her.
So that gave me angel bumps. I call them angel bumps instead of goosebumps. And it generally brings tears in my eyes, and I get the angel bumps again. Because, you know, that's my goal in life, is just to help one person be able to make a small change or a large change.
That's
Krista,
a pretty big one.
If you can think of whatever it is you want to create the affirmation for, and look at it as if you had it next week, not 5 years from now, but if you were able to make a step toward it next week, what would that look like? What would that sound like?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I know we have some that, you know, I'm a speaker that makes $10,000 per engagement. Well, that's not true.
Right.
And I may not get there. But in the meantime, so I shifted that, and I thought, you know, I'm a successful speaker. and I'm well paid when I present or whatever it is I want to create like that.
Yeah,
So
something you
it's
can
being
bind.
able to say something that makes sense and feels good.
So
That's-
I've got a big one, maybe not quite as big as I'll never amount to anything, because I certainly don't believe that. But mine is that I keep hearing is that I'm on a long slog of a journey to become, a truly successful businesswoman.
A long slog of a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So the side of that is that, like, I'm enjoying moments of the journey along the way, or, I've been resourceful in the past. I've done things I never thought I could do. So, I'll do new stuff again. I have to, have confidence in myself. So I kind of, all of those things are true. And yet I still feel the feeling of the long slog and, another phone call and another email and,
Yep. Anybody else want to pop in with any thoughts?
Well, just think about baby steps. So what's a milestone, and a stretch maybe, but still attainable milestone that signifies that journey for you, or for any of us, but specific to Krista's question. So what is that? What is next week? What does a successful businesswoman look like for you, Krista? And then maybe that's the affirmation too, in addition to the long tail ones.
I don't know. I feel like nothing I can come up with is good enough for next week.
Aww.
Oh, okay.
So one thing that helps me, because I struggle, I come from a background, a military family background, where you have to work hard. Everything has to be hard. You've got to struggle. And, that's that Puritan sort of upbringing. And I actually have on my computer taped to my deck, my life is easy and money comes easily to me. And I repeat it countless times throughout the day. And that's actually like my first waking thought is, how is today going to be easy? And when I get into that place, I do believe it. And it helps when I have those moments of doubt to look at that and just say, wait, this doesn't have to be hard. This can be easy. How can this be easy?
And maybe it's about, looking at my day and, or in the moment, like there's a lot of tasks that I do that are easy for me.
There you go.
Or that are fun, or, there's certainly at least some of that. So it's not all a struggle.
Right.
It's not all a long slog. So, I feel like if I could just extend those moments, or, when I'm doing something I don't like, at least have memories of, well, I'll get to do this again. That kind of thing.
There you go. That's
Exactly. And maybe it's transforming that word slog.
Joyful.
I do look at life.
Well, that's opposite.
Pardon?
So the opposites don't work for me.
Okay.
It has to be something that, like you said, something that I can believe, that I can buy into. I mean, I'm certainly learning and growing. I say that a lot.
Well, that's a good one.
I think about all the things I've learned, and, even though I'm not where I want to be, because that's sort of what comes up whenever I put in something good, is what comes back to is, well, I thought I'd be so much further along.
Oh, you're so hard on yourself, Krista.
And Krista, here's one that might work for you is, damn girl, you can ski down a mountain without having sight. You can accomplish freaking anything. You're like a powerhouse.
Cut yourself some slack.
Yeah. Be gentle.
And frankly, we're all hard on ourselves. Yes. We are all our own worst critic.
Yeah, I mean, I can even laugh at it, at how ridiculous it is.
When we get into that mode, that's when we need to use some of these tools to shift that mindset. Because we are beautiful women of the universe. We're here to do work that can shift and change people's lives. We have an impact more than we ever know sometimes.
That's true.
And so I think that's when we get into that negative mindset, is taking that step back, give yourself an opportunity to stop it. And occasionally it ruminates. You hear the same phrase over and over and over again. One of the things that when I hear that, or you had a conversation with somebody and it ruminates, and you think, I should have, I could have, I wish they hadn't, and I especially if I'm at home working by myself, I yell, stop it. And if I'm not where I can, I yell it in my mind.
You ever, there's a comedy sketch. It's called Stop It by Bob Newhart. It's hysterical.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Because if only it were that easy.
Exactly. So it's sort of, as a psychiatrist, or the coach, when somebody gets on that, stop it. Just stop it. So, go ahead.
I was going to say one thing that I learned this technique, that when you're in that sort of reptilian brain and you've got that repetitive thought, you can actually tap your forehead and say, I'm in pain, or something that gets you. By the physical tapping and repeating the same phrase over, you get out of your limbic brain or out of your reptilian brain into your limbic brain, and it shifts the gear, so you can physically get there by not pounding, but just gently tapping and repeating something that just switches where you're operating from.
Yeah, just acknowledging what you're feeling instead of what you're thinking.
Yeah,
this was an awesome, Margaret. Thank you so much for this. So much great discussion after, and I could keep this going, but thank you so much. We will learn. I know I learned a lot. I'm a big believer in mindset. If you ever work with if you have ever were in my social circle, I worked with me in the past, I'm always talking about mindset. And I think it's so critical because like for my neck of the woods, I could teach you all the marketing in the world, but if you aren't in the right mindset, it's not going to be as effective. And so we thank you, Margaret, for your awesome presentation and your tips today. And I think we all learned a lot.
Or at least you were reminded. You probably already knew it.
Well, that's all right. Sometimes we have to hear things multiple times and we're in a different phase of our life, right? And I'm definitely going to look up the placemat thing because I had not heard of that. And I am a follower of Esther Abraham. So I'll definitely check that out. So thank you for that tip as well.
Sure.
So now we're going to move into the announcement portion. This is your opportunity to announce what's coming up in your world, what you're looking for, referrals, like Krista did with the webinar earlier, anything like that. I'm actually got a couple things from housekeeping that I'm going to do first while you guys think about what you want to announce. So on Monday is the Virtual Networkers Open House. It's Monday at noon Eastern. Everyone is invited. This is an opportunity, if you're not a member, to come and join us. We will have incentives, prizes, that kind of thing. It is being hosted by Jennifer Flynn, who is my partner in crime. She manages the other Virtual Networkers group. If you have not met her, she's delightful. In the chat box, I put the link to the event page. If you could RSVP, that if you could or cannot attend, that'd be great. And big request, if you could share it with your tribes. We would love to have as many people there as possible. So that's the one thing. And then the second thing, I just want to give you what's coming up on Fridays. We are meeting next Friday, and Laura is going to be facilitating a very cool exercise that will help that she disappeared. I'm like, what, where are you going? That'll help us really learn and master certain networking techniques, especially in the virtual space. So she'll be facilitating that, and we'll be using the Zoom rooms again. So that's a lot of fun. And then the following Friday, August 17th, virtual coffee dates back again. So if you haven't been there with us the first time we did it, this is everybody come and we will pair you, and I will split you into rooms virtually, and you'll get to do coffee dates with another participant. It's a great way to learn more about somebody and get referrals. So that's coming up. And then on August 24th, we have a guest speaker, Claire Wally, who is a business coach in Birmingham, England. So her accent's very cool, and she'll be giving us some tips there as well. So some good things coming up down the pike. So please join us for that. And with that, I will go to the rest of you for announcements. Connie Jo, anything to announce?
I'm embarking on a new journey with a program where I'm working, it's about mindset and money. Ooh. And it's basically learning how to control your money instead of your money controlling you. And the whole beginning part of it is just mindset work. So it's not like do a budget, that kind of stuff. It's more mindset work. So this was perfect, like, segue into this new stuff. So I'll let you know more about it as time goes on, but I'm really excited about it.
I'm excited. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Let's keep this posted, Connie Jo.
Yes.
Debbie Keevan.
First of all, thank you, Margaret. That was really fascinating. I love it. Thank you. I'll share my thing last, but I worked with Judy this week and had a little taste of what she does, and holy cow, amazing. Like, even when I was working on money and a lack issue and this fear of being away for a month, and it's just me, and I could feel the change in my body. Like, it was amazing. We were on the phone for half an hour, and most of that time we were just chatting. So really impressive. And the second is, if you aren't in the Celestial Circle, you should be, because we have my friend Carrie Eakins, who is all about MFR and creativity, and we're all creatives. So amazing. So join us. She's brilliant.
I didn't pay her, I swear.
No, I love Carrie's amazing. And then lastly, I'm sorry, I'm taking up a lot of space today. I have a webinar that I'm hosting. Actually, I'm calling it's a masterclass, actually, called The Healing Power of Words. And it is August 16th at 11:30 a.m. It'll be about 60 minutes. And I'm going to talk about how to transform the stories that we tell ourselves into our superpowers. I'll put that in the link.
That's your first webinar, ladies. So let's all send lots of love and support to Debbie. Margaret, did you have something you wanted to add?
I wanted to ask Debbie, how did you do with your walking and running and hiking?
Thank you, Margaret.
Oh, you're muted.
There's no running. I would say moderately well, only because it's not just raining. It's like buckets of rain. So right. I got out 3 days and I walked a lot, like I've been just really getting up and moving and dancing. So, and I actually added 2 sessions. I did yoga this morning. So
yay. Are you going out this weekend?
I haven't scheduled anything because they've got a long walk that I'm on the fence about. And I'm going to look at the weather. Again, if it's this deluge, I am not going out. I'll figure it out. I'll go mall walking, which is...
I was going to say, mall walking works.
Yeah, it does, but... Yeah. So, yes, thank you for checking in, Margaret.
Yay! Hannah!
I have no announcements. I just want to say thank you to Margaret. It was a great session. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Krista, go ahead.
Hi. So just the webinar, Get Noticed Now. Sign up for good practical strategies. It's there in the chat room.
Thank you. Laura Shipman.
Just another PSA for Keep It Local. With all the webinars that you have, like Debbie's webinar and the Mindset and Money thing that's coming up, you guys can put that on our events calendar at Keep It Local, so you can, get some other members in there. And I'm going to put the link in the chat box, and you just click on that, fill out a form, and it'll be global for everyone to see. So just another way to connect and to get your stuff out there.
Thank you.
Margaret. That was awesome today. It was really interesting.
Thank you, Laura.
Judy Kane.
Yes. So thank you, Margaret. Always love hearing people talk about, how to get people's lives better. And I loved working with Debbie. First, I wanted to thank Mary Beth. She sent me some connections with some people, introductions to people that I've got follow-up calls with today. So I'm really excited about that. And as always, I'm just looking to work with coaches, particularly because a lot of times, Krista was talking about the things that just don't make sense. A lot of times that's a subconscious belief, and you can change that pretty quickly. And that's what I do. So I don't do the behaviors. I don't do the follow-up. I don't have the knowledge on all the subjects that people come to me about. All I do is change subconscious beliefs, or help them change the subconscious beliefs. So keep me in mind.
Thank you, Judy. I'm glad you're getting referrals and connections. That makes me so happy. That's what this is all about. So I'm just so delighted. Did I get everybody? Margaret, did you have anything?
Yeah, I did. I finally decided the date of my webinar, Power Series. It's 4 sessions. It starts Tuesday, September 18th. You can find that at Margaret, and I won't put the link in because it's too quick for me to type it. But anyway, you can find it at margaretmartin.com. If you look on speaker, and there's a drop down that says classes offered. Or if you go to the shop, you'll see the link there as well.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I got everybody now, right? Sorry.
I forgot to tell you the title. The title is Your Chatter Matters. And so we're going to break it down into transforming the negative mind chatter. Then we're going to look at conversations with others and conversational habits. Third is setting boundaries. And then the fourth is we talk about integrity, or just a total wrap up. So that's it.
Good topics. Yay. Such good stuff you all are doing. Very proud. So that's it. That wraps up this week's virtual networking. We are good. I mean, we start on time, we end on time. I don't know many networking groups that can say that. So thank you, ladies.
I do have one more quick thing.
Oh my God, Margaret.
Thank you.
Just joking.
Sorry. My Instagram is still hijacked, and so Laura's been providing me some thoughts on how to resolve it, and so I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
I'm sorry it got hijacked. Can we report it for you? Is that a possibility?
I have I don't know if that is. Laura, is that a possibility? I don't know.
You can report. So if you go to the to your Instagram, and it's somebody else's name right now, right?
Yes.
What you can do is you can hit the 3 dots and go ahead and report it. So if we all continually do that, eventually they will just remove that altogether. So if you can't get access to your account, which I don't think you can do anything.
I did. I tried it again last night after I got an email that said somebody's tried to, reset the password. So I tried even using that username that he's changed mine to.
Yeah. And it won't let you. So what we could do is if you put that username in the chat box, we can all go to Instagram and just report that account, and then it'll just be wiped out completely. Are you starting a new account?
I had started a new account, but I was trying to get this one. So I actually I started a new account with a different email address and name. And then I've forgotten what you call it. The word is, anyway, I suspended it for right now until we could get this resolved. I didn't know if that would make a difference or not.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do at this point, because it'll take forever for Instagram to try and resolve that, is if we all report it and then start a new account, and then use that, what's it called? Oh my gosh. The double opt-in.
Double authentication?
Yeah, authentication, yeah.
Yes.
And just get rid of the other one once they get that resolved, just eliminate that one, even though I had a bunch of followers.
Yeah, you'll grow your followers pretty quickly. I mean, because this person's going to it's not going to help you out because he'll damage whatever you've got going on there anyway. So, yeah. So
far he hasn't, but anyway.
Yeah.
Boo on Aaron 5989 Brandon. Well, if that's not a hacker's Instagram handle, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
I'll definitely go in there today, Margaret, and report Aaron.
Yeah.
Bad Aaron.
You can hit report. Just the 3 dots at the top of the screen. Just hit report.
And that'll be in. By the way, remember we get the text. You get a copy of the chat box through a PDF when I send you the replay link. So all of these links are in there. And if you could help Margaret out, if you're an Instagram user. If you could help her out by reporting it, because it does eventually speed things along in Instagram world, but it's still very slow.
Yeah, because I did finally find the right place to report something.
Oh, good. Good. Okay, well, on that note, have a lovely Friday.
You too.
Happy weekend, everybody.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Stay dry, it sounds like.
Bye-bye.